Are you currently struggling with a clog in your RV's toilet or black tank? Today we're going to show you how to clear it easily. Hello everyone, I'm Chris, certified RV technician for Unique Camping and Marine. For over 30 years, we've been helping campers get rid of clogs, and today we're gonna help you do the same thing. We know you wanna get right to the actual information, so let's get right into it. Before we get started, it really helps to know which type of clog you're dealing with. There are essentially 3 different types of clogs that we're going to be focusing on today, and they are compacted tanks, pyramid plugs, and blocked lines, either into or out of the black tank. If you find yourself with a compacted tank, typically what is happening here is that the RV has been put into storage without dumping the holding tank. So waste has been left inside of the tank, and over time, all of the liquid evaporates from the tank, leaving behind only solid waste and toilet paper. Pyramid plugs form from liquid rushing out of the black water holding tank because you have left the RV black tank valve in the open position. This can happen whether you did it on purpose because you believed that all of the waste would just flow out of the black tank and into the sewer port, or by accident in that you maybe forgot to close or close the black valve all of the way. Either way, what will happen is all of the liquid will run out of the tank and it will leave behind solid waste and toilet paper inside of the tank. Pyramid plugs can also form from lack of water in the black water holding tank. Let's say that you're boondocking and you're not using nearly enough water inside of the black tank. This can allow water to pool at one end of the tank and allow solid waste and toilet paper to build up directly underneath the toilet pipe. Clogged lines can happen typically from lack of water usage. When it comes to a clogged line, they can occur either at the pipe which connects the toilet to the black tank, or the pipe which connects the black tank to the discharge knife valve. Let's say that you go to flush the RV toilet and you do not allow enough water to move the waste from the toilet fully into the black tank. You can begin to create a clog right there in between those 2 areas in the pipe. If you're not using enough water while you've flushed some of the waste into the toilet, it can slowly migrate to the end of the tank and can start to build up right around the discharge port. Again, water is crucial when it comes to the proper operation of a black water holding tank. Let's talk about knowing which type of clog you have. If you have a compacted tank, you will typically smell this as soon as you enter the RV after it's been in storage for a long time. There will no longer be any liquid covering up the waste inside of there, and the smell will typically migrate throughout the inside of the RV. For the pyramid plug, you will know that you have one of these if you have a straight shot looking down into the toilet, and if you see the top of a pyramid plug forming, you'll know that that could potentially be your problem there. Or if it has lasted long enough that when you go to flush the toilet, the water doesn't actually leave the toilet bowl. A clogged plumbing line can also look very similar from the toilet standpoint as a pyramid plug. So you might be having a pyramid plug or just a blocked line, but fortunately they're both very similar in how you take care of them. You may believe that if you have one of these clogs, the only way to deal with it is by having somebody come out and hydrojet your black tank. While this service will most certainly take care of the clog, they can also be quite expensive. What we recommend doing is purchasing a bottle of Clear It. This is by far the strongest black tank unclogger on the market, so much so that it is used in service bays all across the United States to deal with clogs rather than having to deal with them mechanically. If you are dealing with a pyramid plug or a clogged line either into or out of the black water holding tank, you will need to add as much water as possible. If you are finding that you cannot get very much water into the black tank because the pyramid plug or clogged line is so severe that water simply won't leave the toilet, you may need to go an extra step, and we recommend getting a 1/2-inch piece of PEX piping and then pushing this down in through the clog. This will allow for liquid to be able to flow past it and around the clog itself, so that you can then add a full bottle of Clear It through the toilet and into where the clog sits. After you have added Clear It, allow it to sit for 12 to 48 hours. The longer you can allow it to sit inside of there, the better it can do as far as breaking through a clog. There is no amount of time which is too long when it comes to leaving Clear It inside of the holding tank, and it will not do any damage to any of the seals, gaskets, or the tank or toilet itself. Driving around is not required when using this product. After you have allowed enough time for the product to do what it needs to do around the clog itself, then you can dump the black water holding tank and rinse it thoroughly. We recommend closing the black water holding tank valve and allowing the black tank to fill completely up with water and then dump the tank again. This sometimes causes secondary clogs to form at the exit point of the black water holding tank. And that's really not that big of a deal because usually all that you need to get through it is a little bit more rinsing, or if necessary, you can add another bottle and start the process over again. If your first attempt using Clear It did not take care of the problem completely or caused a secondary blockage inside of the black tank on the discharge port, don't panic. Please just call our customer support line and we would be happy to send you an additional bottle of Clear It completely free. If you are dealing with a compacted tank, then the steps are going to be very similar to that of the pyramid plug and a clogged line. What you will need to do is try to add as much water into the black water holding tank as possible. Again, it may be necessary for you to stab through the waste using a piece of 1/2-inch PEX pipe. Once you have done so, fill it with as much water as possible, then add a full bottle of Clear It. Allow 48 to 72 hours or more if you're able to, in order to allow Clear It to break through the waste and toilet paper which is inside of the tank. Once you have allowed enough time to elapse, dump the tank and rinse it thoroughly. Again, if you need to do this multiple times, feel free to call our Colorado-based customer support line and we would be happy to get a second bottle out to you if the first one didn't go through. Over our 30 years of helping people unclog their black water holding tanks, we've only had a couple of occasions where we've needed to recommend somebody use a hydrojetting service. With that being said, if you find yourself being a full-timer and you don't have the time to wait the 2 to 3 days in order for the Clear It to work, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with hiring a professional hydrojetting service. Just keep in mind that not all hydrojetting services are the same. We have partnered with Healthy Tanks and they use commercial professional equipment in order to really blast and clean out the contents of a clog or a compacted tank. And with their tools and experience, they're able to get through most clogs and fully clean out tanks in 45 minutes versus other companies who take upwards of 3 to 4 hours because they're using less commercial-based equipment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this got you through whatever clog you were dealing with, and now you are worry-free when it comes to your black water holding tank. If you feel that we left anything out, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And as always, if you would like to, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.